We run out of time. I got to ask you about the Great White Hope. I saw in an interview that you support the Great White Hope.
The Great White Hope.
Yes.
So you're talking about the president of our United States.
Yes.
The person that is not a politician.
That's right.
The person who's a true American that cares about this country finally, that is not going to sell our country out to the highest bidder.
That's right.
I support and I know the person. I've worked for him in the Celebrity Apprentice. I know what type of man he is. I know how he raises his children. He has made mistakes through his life, as all of us have. His is just under a microscope.
Yeah.
And once again, he is not a politician.
Right.
He's an American.
That's what makes him so good.
That's what makes him so good, and he says what he's gonna do, and he keeps his promise when
So
he does
you
it.
work for the president?
Yes, I have.
What did you do?
I did the Celebrity Apprentice.
You did?
Yes.
I'm gonna have to look at that.
Yeah, I did it for 8 weeks. And let me tell you, I was by his side and I was asking as many questions as I possibly could about what type of person he was, how come he became a billionaire 3 times, how did he do that? How do you stay a millionaire? I mean, I asked a lot of questions. I was asking as many as possible, and to see how humble and how honest he was, it made me respect him. Then all of a sudden, when he ran for president, that's the first time I ever voted for a president. Was his first election.
So in the little time we have left, what did you learn about him? And answer those questions, what did you realize about him that most people don't realize yet?
That he is a very caring person. He's a person who's a hard worker, that is willing to sacrifice everything in his name to make sure his job gets done the right way. I've learned that he has 2 things for the rest of his life: his name and his word.
Yeah.
That's what I have for the rest of my life, is
And
my name and my word.
I noticed he doesn't have fear. No matter what comes after him, he tends to just go and deal with it. On and on and on.
Exactly, and now it's even better where he has the power to do things that need to be done in this country the right way.
Yeah.
And I respect it. And finally, I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat.
Right.
I'm a conservative. I believe in doing the right things. People have their choices of what they want to do. But I think at the end of the day, this country, America that we live in, needs to be respected, needs to be loved. As you talk about God, God bless our country.
Yeah.
God bless our president.
Yeah.
And I think at the end of the day, my children need to have safety here. Our troops need to have safety.
Yeah.
Our country and our people who live here need to respect this country because it is the greatest country in the world.
Are you for the wall going up around the border?
I want that wall to go up on the border as high as possible and
Me
as
too.
deep as possible.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way it should be.
Absolutely.
The
wall going up.
Oh, it's going up. It's continuing to go up. But at the same time, people question that is why should there be a wall? Well, in Mexico, they don't want people from Venezuela coming over. They stop them at the border down there.
Yeah.
They do exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
In Canada, they do the same thing for Americans to go into Canada.
Yeah.
If you have a DUI, you cannot go to Canada.
Right, I heard that.
Yes.
I didn't know if someone was telling me.
If you have any felonies, if you have any assaults, you cannot go to Canada. United States should be the same way.
How do your friends react to you knowing that you support the Great White Hope?
They actually support them also.
Oh, good.
But they're quiet about it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people, a lot of Mexican Americans who are friends of mine that are very quiet about it. And I'm very verbal on it on my social media. I'm very outspoken because I love the honesty.
Right.
I'm not there to sugarcoat anything. I want to make sure that people know where I come from. I'm very transparent, as I say. I want people to look at me going, if he can do it, I know I can do it.
Would you say that the president is an honest man?
I say the president is an honest man, yes.
I believe
yes,
that.
I believe that.
And so do the Mexicans know that you're a Mexican?
Yes.
But how do they know? They can't really look at you and tell.
Yeah, well, when you walk out with American and Mexican flag for every one of your fights, I think they get it. I've been going to Mexico since I've been 6 years old. My father used to take us. And then after that, when I graduated high school, I used to go down to Tijuana all the time. Then I'd go down to Cabo and then go to Mexico City. Then when my fight career came about, Mexico City, I would travel to Mazatlan. I'd go all these different places for vacation. I love Mexico. It's beautiful. We just went to Mexico just this last year. Right. And it's a great country, but there is a lot of criminals. Yeah. There's a lot of injustice does happen.
I used to go to Cancun, Mexico, but I don't go right now because I'm concerned about going down there.
So you can go a little south of that, and Tulum is a beautiful, amazing place. It's nice, and I went there, and like I said, I've been going since I've been 6, and it didn't even seem like I was in Mexico. It was so clean, so nice, but I think the president is doing a great job as our president. I think
Do you believe he's got a second term around?
Oh, he's going to win by landslide.
Yeah.
People are finally seeing the truth. And the ones that don't want to see the truth are in denial. And those are the ones that don't want to be right. And it's kind of funny because me and Amber, we talk about it, and it's like, I'm like, how come these people can't see the truth? Can't see common sense? She's all, people don't like to be wrong.
Yeah.
And I get it.
Ego.
And I get it. Ego gets in people's way. And, you know, to be humble, I think a lot of people need to learn this.
Do you have anger?
Do I have anger? No.
You have no anger?
No, not at all. There's no anger. I think there's a lot more of confusion of why people do what they do.
Because they can't see due to the anger.
Yeah.
If they overcome the anger, then they can see.
Then they can see, exactly.
Yeah, then they can see.